So today, we're going to dive into a process that can absolutely transform education from the inside out. It's called curriculum mapping. Now, I know what you might be thinking. The name sounds a little dry, maybe a bit administrative, but trust me, it's actually an incredibly powerful tool that every educator, parent, and student should really understand.
And right off the bat, let's just shatter a common myth. This does not have to be difficult. Look, it can seem like this huge, daunting task, but when you break it down, what you find is an incredibly logical and powerful framework for any school.
So what is it really? Well, at its core, curriculum mapping is simply the process of getting a clear, honest picture of what's happening in the classroom. It's about documenting what teachers are actually teaching and what students are actually learning, day by day, unit by unit. No more guesswork. But why bother with all this? Why go through the process? Well, the payoff is huge. We're talking about unlocking some serious potential for students, for teachers, and really for the entire school community.
The benefits are crystal clear for everyone. For students, it means no more confusing gaps in their knowledge or frustrating repetitions of stuff they already know. Their learning builds or scaffolds logically from one year to the next. For teachers, it becomes this amazing, dynamic hub for collaboration. And for the school as a whole, it leads directly to what we all want: better instruction and improved student outcomes.
I mean, the difference is night and day. Without a map, educators are kind of flying blind, and that can lead to all sorts of problems. Learning gaps, teaching the same thing twice by accident, big inconsistencies between classrooms. But with a map, suddenly everything becomes coherent, aligned, and transparent. It just brings order and a real sense of purpose to that whole educational journey.
And beyond all the great educational benefits, there's a really powerful practical one. It saves money, a lot of it. By developing curriculum maps in-house, schools can seriously cut back on how much they spend on expensive, prepackaged textbooks. And that frees up funds that can go right back into the classroom or other critical resources.
And this gets to the heart of it really, this idea of a shared resource center. Just picture this. You have a veteran teacher with an absolutely brilliant lesson plan. And because of mapping, a brand new teacher down the hall has instant access to it. It elevates the quality of teaching across the entire school by making it super easy to share what works best.
Okay, so we've covered the why. We get it, it's crucial. But what does one of these maps actually look like? What's in it? Let's break down its anatomy.
So, your basic map will have the required learning standards and the sequence, the order you teach them in. But a truly robust, effective map goes way deeper. It spells out the specific content, the key facts, the nouns like evolution. It also defines the skills, what students should be able to do, the verbs like calculate. And of course, it includes the assessments, how you're actually going to measure if they've learned it.
Now, this is where the magic really happens. It's a total shift in how you think about planning. The best curriculum isn't planned from chapter 1 of a textbook. No, it's planned backward from the final destination. You have to begin with the end in mind.
This whole approach is called understanding by design, and it basically flips traditional planning right on its head. Instead of just plowing through a book, you start with step 1, identify the desired results. What do students absolutely have to know and be able to do by the end? Then step 2, determine the evidence. What test, what project is going to prove they get it? And only then, as the very last step, do you plan the day-to-day lessons. This makes sure every single activity is serving a clear long-term purpose.
And this part is absolutely crucial to remember. A curriculum map is not some static document you create once, print out, and stick in a binder to collect dust. It is a living, breathing process that has to constantly evolve.
Exactly. You can't just have an administrator hand a map down from on high and expect it to work. It needs active participation. It has to be owned by the teachers who are in the classroom doing the work every single day.
So in that first year, the map gets created and implemented. But the real work begins right after that. It has to be reviewed and refined every year to keep up with changing standards, new teaching methods, and, most importantly, the actual needs of the students sitting in the classroom right now.
So what does the future of mapping look like? Well, not surprisingly, technology is a huge part of the story. Think about it. As hybrid learning gets more and more common, a clear map is essential to keep the virtual and in-person instruction aligned. And as parents ask for more transparency, public-facing digital maps become a key tool to show what their kids are learning and why.
And that's exactly why modern digital tools are such a game changer here. They provide the flexibility you need to build, share, and constantly adjust these living documents. They make this whole cycle of reviewing and refining manageable and effective for everybody.
All right, so let's just boil it all down. What are the big takeaways? Curriculum mapping improves alignment across all the grade levels. It makes sure there's a consistent, logical flow of knowledge for students. It creates a really clear way to communicate goals, and, most importantly, it empowers our teachers while saving critical resources. It's a win-win-win.
So when you really think about it, a curriculum map isn't just a document, it's a dynamic blueprint for student success. And that leaves us with one big question to think about. How could a living, breathing curriculum truly transform the learning that's happening in your community?